Have you ever wondered how the Harry Potter films brought one of the most fascinating sports in the world to life? Today on Collider, we're taking you behind the scenes of Quidditch. Let's dive in. Bringing Quidditch to life in the Harry Potter films was no easy task. While it looks thrilling and effortless on screen, the truth is that the sport was almost entirely created with CGI. The actors filmed their scenes separately, sitting on broomstick rigs that moved them around to simulate flying. All of this took place in front of a blue or green screen, which was later replaced with a fully animated stadium and sky. Since the actors had little to interact with besides the screen, filming Quidditch scenes was a tough experience. Chris Columbus, who directed the first two Harry Potter movies, described it as one of the more exhausting things for the actors. Sitting on a broom for hours was hard enough, but they also had to make it look like they were really flying, reacting to everything around them with energy and excitement. To make sure every Quidditch match felt real and exciting, the team planned everything in detail long before filming. They started with storyboards, sketching out each movement and camera angle. Once the storyboards were ready, they moved on to pre-visualization, or Previs, a process where simple animations were used to map out the action before shooting even started. Since Previs could take weeks to complete, it was important to get everything right before moving on to the next stage. Previs helped the filmmakers figure out how all the different pieces would come together in the final version. Previs also helped determine how many shots were needed and in what order. Since each actor's scenes were filmed separately, they had to break the action down into individual moments. A single shot with 10 players could take an entire week to film, even before the visual effects team got to work, and yet that shot might only last 2 seconds in the final movie. As the Harry Potter series went on, technology improved, allowing for even more exciting Quidditch scenes. CGI became more advanced, adding details that made the game look even more real. Visual effects supervisor Tim Burke explained, "Inside a computer, we can do just about anything." This meant they could animate cloaks whipping in the wind and create movements that would have been impossible for real actors to pull off. Digital versions of the actors blended seamlessly with real footage, making every dive, dodge, and goal look totally natural. In the end, a mix of practical effects, previs, and cutting-edge CGI turned Quidditch into one of the most exciting parts of the Harry Potter films. The careful planning and technical expertise made sure every match felt intense and immersive. Thanks to the dedication of the actors, filmmakers, and visual effects artists, Quidditch became not just a fictional sport, but a thrilling on-screen experience that fans still love today. Before filming even started, every Quidditch match had to be meticulously planned. The process began with hand-drawn storyboard sketches detailing each character's movements on the field. The detailed preparation allowed filmmakers to see how the final sequence would look and ensured all elements were properly mapped out before shooting. Each player was filmed individually in front of a blue screen, even though they appeared to interact with others in the final film. This made the process incredibly time-consuming. A week of filming could result in just a few seconds of usable footage, meaning every movement had to be precise to ensure a seamless final product. The broom rigs that actors used required frequent updating as well. In Sorcerer's Stone, rigs were simple and designed to move young actors up, down, left, and right at relatively low speeds. However, as the actors grew and their stunts became more complex, the rigs had to evolve. Later designs could support heavier actors and allowed for nearly any rotation imaginable, giving the flying sequences a more dynamic and realistic feel. Quidditch is supposed to be a fast-paced, high-risk game, but safety concerns meant the actors couldn't be hurled through the air at high speeds. To create the illusion of incredible speed, filmmakers relied on motion cameras. These cameras moved in the opposite direction of the broom rigs, combining forward broom movement with backward camera motion to make it appear as though players were flying at breakneck speeds. Another trick used to enhance the illusion of speed was the backdrop. If players had been filmed against a plain blue sky, their movements might have seemed slow, much like how a plane appears to move leisurely in the sky, despite traveling at high speeds. To solve this problem, producers placed players against visually complex backgrounds whenever possible. In Chamber of Secrets, for example, Harry and Draco's race for the snitch took place in a trench underground, adding intensity and making their speed feel more real. The broom rigs weren't just complex, they were also very uncomfortable. Thankfully, the actors didn't have to balance on a single handle. Instead, their brooms were equipped with bicycle seats, which were later hidden by clothing or edited out in post-production. Still, spending hours perched on these seats was exhausting. Daniel Radcliffe once shared that filming the Quidditch scenes was seriously tough on set. For one scene, he was strapped into a harness and had to act like he was flying, dodging bludgers and battling the wind, while being completely suspended in the air. The harness was so tight that Daniel said it was unbelievably painful, and there were times when he hung upside down for so long, his face would turn bright red from the blood rushing to his head. He joked that he might have needed a Quidditch chiropractor after all those intense stunts. Stunt coordinator Greg Powell noted that after long sessions, actors' eyes would even start to cross from the discomfort. Over time, small improvements like metal stirrups were added to make things a bit more bearable. But sitting on a broom for hours remained one of the biggest challenges of filming Quidditch scenes. Lighting played a crucial role in making Quidditch look believable. Filming against a blue screen and inserting the actors into a digital background is much harder than it seems. One of the key factors in ensuring the actors blended seamlessly with their surroundings was lighting. If an actor was filmed in dim lighting but later placed into a bright, sunny scene, the shot wouldn't look natural. Likewise, if the sun was setting in the background but the actor's face was brightly lit, the illusion would be ruined. Paying attention to these tiny details was essential for making Quidditch scenes look as magical and real as possible. One of the biggest changes from the books to the films was the omission of most of the Quidditch World Cup match in Goblet of Fire. Many fans were disappointed by this, but the amount of work required to bring the event to life made it nearly impossible. Even just introducing the teams took months of intense editing. The sheer scale of the Quidditch World Cup stadium, many times larger than Hogwarts pitch, made it a massive undertaking. Every structural element, from support beams to chairs, had to be carefully animated, and thousands of digital fans had to be added to the stands. Many lessons were learned with each new Harry Potter film. Chris Columbus, director of the first two movies, admitted that in Philosopher's Stone, Quidditch effects were done late in production, leaving little time to perfect them. By the time Chamber of Secrets was filmed, flying sequences were prioritized, giving the visual effects team several extra months to refine the shots. This practice carried through to later films, allowing for more sophisticated and immersive Quidditch scenes in Half-Blood Prince and beyond. As filming techniques evolved, so did the tricks used to make actors look like they were soaring through the sky. While wind machines helped create the illusion of speed, even more realistic effects were needed. In later films, special swings and trampolines were introduced to simulate flight. These allowed actors to move in ways that made their performances physically look even more dynamic, adding to the overall realism of Quidditch scenes. Bringing Quidditch to life required a perfect blend of planning, technology, and creativity. The dedication of the actors, filmmakers, and visual effects teams ensured that each match felt immersive, fast-paced, and magical. What started as a challenging and grueling process became one of the most visually stunning aspects of the Harry Potter films, thrilling audiences and making Quidditch one of the most iconic elements of the wizarding world. Quidditch in Harry Potter was an absolute game-changer on screen. With high-flying action, awesome CGI, and intense competition, it brought the magic of the books to life in the best way. Filming it was a huge challenge, but the result was epic, one of the most unforgettable parts of the series. Thanks for watching Collider. See you next time.